very good judge is how to take a political hot potato lawsuit and figure out a way not to rule on it. And I've got to give Hillsborough County Superior Court Judge Ken Brown kudos this past week, because he figured that out on this hot potato that is the House redistricting plan conceived by House Speaker Bill O'Brien and the Republican leadership. There have been no less than 5 lawsuits that have been filed to this plan, most of which really circle around this 2006 constitutional amendment that was approved, that essentially said that if a town or ward has enough population to get its own legislator, it should have one. Now, the House redistricting plan does a lot of good things. It doubles the number of districts. It reduces dramatically the number of legislators who have to run in these massive districts, where as many as 13 legislators are elected in one big grouping. It cuts down those numbers. What it also does, it leaves more than 60 towns and wards with enough population to have their own rep, not get their own rep. That's really the focus of this lawsuit. And House Speaker Bill O'Brien and House Legal Counsel Ed Mosca said, we embrace the thrust of the 2006 amendment, but the fact is this: the federal one-person, one-vote principle trumps the state law, trumps state constitution. That has to be what guides us. We tried to get to a smallest as possible population deviation between these 400 districts. It's really hard to do. It really forced bringing about what are again called floterials. These are districts where a community elects a House member. Then a community becomes part of a larger district with another ward or town and elects other members. That's the floterial district. New Hampshire and Utah are the only 2 states in the country that have ever had floterial districts. It's an interesting kind of anomaly. And when the Supreme Court took over redistricting in 2000, it ruled that floterial districts were constitutional, but it created maps that didn't have them. So for the last 10 years, we haven't had floterial districts. They're coming back as a result of this plan to try and bring down the population deviation, as I said. Now, Ken Brown was able to avoid this lawsuit, all these lawsuits, by essentially saying, look, I'm a trolley car stop on the way to the Supreme Court. Whatever I decide, one party is going to appeal that to the Supreme Court. So, this week, all sides are going to agree to a set of facts by this Wednesday. And on Wednesday, Judge Brown is going to sign what's called an interlocutory transfer that says, here's the set of facts, Supreme Court, here's your case. Without a decision from us, here's your case, you decide the constitutionality of what the House has done, whether you agree that it's proper or it's not. At lobbynh.com, we're in the case of not just telling you what's happened, but what we think is going to happen. And here's one instance. I don't believe this Supreme Court is going to look the House in the face and essentially say, we're taking over redistricting again. They've barely recovered from the fallout that occurred when they had to draw the maps for the entire House and the entire state Senate because the Republican-led legislature and then Democratic Governor Jeanne Shaheen couldn't get along and couldn't agree on a plan. I don't think they want to go there again. I really don't. And I think they may have some criticism of the House redistricting plan, but I don't think they'll overturn it. We'll know in a matter of weeks, frankly, because the filing period starts June 6th, and times are wasting. So it's less than a month away now. So the Supreme Court, when it gets this case, is going to have to put it on the fastest of tracks. It may not even have oral arguments. It may just do legal written briefs in order to try and make a decision quickly, although oral arguments are a distinct possibility. We'll keep watching that here at lobbynh.com. This redistricting ball just keeps bouncing. It's a fascinating political drama with stakes affecting all 400 members of the House of Representatives.